This celebration tonight has come about through the hard and good work of teachers and community members who've been working on this celebration tonight for probably close to 2 years. We've talked about having a gathering such as this. We've talked about bringing elders into the classroom to begin to transfer knowledge from those who are closest to a sense of place, and that's the local elders. I know the committee had a very difficult time figuring out what 4 elders to bring in. And it was a rough decision because over 70 names were brought in, I believe, to the committee. And this is not an end tonight. This is a beginning of a possibility of a yearly gathering of celebration of elders in a sense of place in your community of International Falls.
It is with great enthusiasm that I present to you tonight's talented guests and the elders whom we honor tonight. Louise Larson. Oscar Bergstrom. Marie Karsnia. And Buck Johnson. At the last minute, Buck couldn't be with us. He asked us to tell you he fell in the lake. Our thoughts are with you, Buck, and your family, and hope that you're listening to your song on the radio.
But when they looked for the rest of the moose, they found no trace. Then they examined the moose head in the wheelbarrow and found it had been dead long before the sociable moose livened things up along the Rainier Road. The head was stuffed. There had been a party, and somebody mentioned the wandering moose, and somebody had an old moose head, and there you are. And by the way, whatever became of the moose? Thank you.
My name is Marie Karsnia. I was born in International Falls 86 years ago in the 7th month on the 16th day of 1911. Seems like a long time ago.
My dad read in the paper in Ireland that over in America you could homestead and get land for yourself.
From there he walked up to International Falls. He walked up the creek and tested the land and found what he found, the Donahue farm. My husband came here to castrate pigs, and that's where I met him. We were married in 1929, 16th of October. We had 8 children going to school at one time. Talk about fixing breakfast. I was frying tomatoes with butter or bacon for myself. I used to cook 2 big pans.
Well, there was one street there that there was 5 in 5.5 years.
What?
There was 5 in 5.5 years.
There's a street.
That was one street.
Bread day was Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Wash day was Monday and Thursday. Ironing was Wednesday. Church was on Saturday. On Sunday, got everybody dressed in their best. Half the time I was pregnant, so I stayed home, where I had the pleasure of heaving every morning, every one of them the same.
But half the time that I was pregnant, I stayed home because I had the pleasure of heaving every morning. Heaving. Wasn't your wife ever sick to her stomach in the morning?
Yeah.
Well, then you know what it is. And with every one of them it was the same.
Didn't have running water until the 12th child. Midgie was my 13th. She was 10 weeks premature and weighed 2 pounds and 9 ounces. Family is the greatest joy in my life.
My life has been a pleasure. Because I had so many to love and so many to love me.
To have so many love me, to have so many want me. How could I be lonely tonight? From Ireland we came to America to get some land, to build a home, to raise a family. To have so many love me, to have so many want me. How could I be lonely tonight? Fried tomatoes in a frying pan, cooked in butter, homemade bread every day. So proud to be your mother. To have so many love me, to have so many want me. How could I be lonely tonight? Pillowcases, pants and sheets made from grain sacks, long underwear standing up, frozen on line. Keeping warm by the kitchen stove when the cold north winds blow. Everybody needs love to pull them through. 56 great-grandchildren in my arms, and 12 raised up on the farm, plus 50 grandchildren. I love you. To have so many love me, to have so many want me. How could I be lonely tonight? To have so many love me, to have so many want me. How could I be lonely tonight? And we now have all of Marie Karsnia's family stand. It's the whole audience. No. Let's see, this is Shelby Dowdy's 5th grade class of Falls Elementary School. But a round of applause to Miss Dowdy. And of course, to my embarrassment, I should have acknowledged Kathy Gjertson. Could you please step out here, Kathy Gjertson, from the last class? The teacher.
My name is Louise Larson. I was born November 26, 1902, so I am almost a century old. That makes me pretty old.
I came in 1926, and I really thought I was coming to the end of the world. I heard about International Falls and all the woodsmen who came to town and made it a wild town for many years. They had money and they spent it.
The name of my hometown was Barnesville. The man who bought the land was Mr. Barnes.
My husband managed the mill and invited us to the logging camp. They would have the most wonderful dinner. The food was great. They sat at long tables and nobody said a word.
My husband was so involved for so many years. We lived in the company house for 18 years. They had many strikes. I never asked any questions so nobody could quote me.
I taught at Alexander Baker. It was a good school. They now talk about tearing it down.
Now, do you want to know? Where I taught when I taught here so long ago? In 1926, when I came, and right up there, way high, I had to climb stairs and stairs to get up there, and I had so many children. I think it's still a real nice building. Don't you think it'd be too bad to have to tear it down? Mm-hmm. Yeah, they don't know what to do with it now.
Mr. Petersen was superintendent of the school at that time. I got acquainted with him right away. He forgot he had hired me.
School. His name was Petersen. And I got well acquainted with him right away because he forgot that he had hired me. So he always introduced me to everybody. This was, and I was pretty small, pretty young. This is the teacher that we forgot. He said,
Louise, my name is Louise, 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 please call me Louise. Have to tell you about how it is I came to the end of the world on a passenger train in a brand new suit, in a brand new hat. Across from me sat a lumberjack. Louise, my name is Louise, 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 please call me Louise. In a pair of boots, in a shirt of plaid, I thought for sure he was a wilderness man. But to my surprise, he was the same as I, on his way to teach on the Canadian line. Louise, my name is Louise, 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 please call me Louise. When the train arrived, I walked along 3rd Street on the way to school, where the board did meet. When I said my name, the board said, "What?" That's how I got to be known. As a teacher, they forgot. Louise, my name is Louise, 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 please call me Louise. I could write a book about what I forgot in this border town, but I'd rather not talk about it. I'd rather play bridge on Friday night with all my friends. Louise, my name is Louise, 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 please call me Louise. Louise, my name is Louise, 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 please call me Louise.
And I would like to dedicate this song to someone that's very special to me, my grandpa Ferdinand Hilke, who this year celebrated his 90th birthday.
momentum out of our own past. We listened, Guy and I, as we eased around the south end of Sparrow Island and into Grass Bay. We listened between our uneven strokes. And in the intermittent silences of these glides forward, we heard our own wake.
My name is Don Johnson. I was born September 30th, 1926. I'm 71 years old. I've been called Buck since I was just a little bit of a tyke. I have spent my whole lifetime on Rainy Lake. My life has stayed mostly within 3 miles.
I have spent as much time fishing as anyone around. My brother and I were 6 to 7 trying to fish out crayfish with a stick. Down below there was a big fish. We'd catch him if we had a hook.
Living on an island like we did, boats are important. We had a boat with a single-cylinder engine in it, and I recall my first solo trip.
So I was steering, and oh boy, the boat was just charging along. And what I did, I ran up on a reef, ran right up on a rock. The rock was about that deep, and the front of the boat went toop, 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 toop.
Motor off and pushed me to shore. I've thought about it since. I've never heard anyone bragging about hitting a rock. What you do is lean back and say, I don't feel so bad about it, because even Buck hit a rock.
We were more primitive than folks in town. We loved it, no complaint. But eventually I grew up and the state of Minnesota had a crazy idea. I had to go to school. In order to do that, I boarded in Rainier. The people I stayed with...
But and what he was talking about is my father had, when they first started to put the buoys in Rainy Lake, or any of the markers in Rainy Lake, my dad became the lamplighter. And that's what they called him, because they had no other name for it.
My dad had what he called the Bible. It listed every buoy in it and where each rock was and where to set it. With that information, I took off for the first time. I looked in the Bible
But
and
this Bible hadn't helped me very much. So when we got home, I said to my dad, you know, I just could not find those 3 tall trees on the far side of Cranberry Bay. I looked and looked and looked for them. Oh, he said, those trees. Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you. They blew down about 10 years ago. So I said, well, that's a lot of help. I said, what are you supposed to line it up with? Oh, he says, you line it up with where they were, where they used to be. That's what you line it up with.
Named after my father, with a little luck. Granddaddy told them, we're gonna call him Buck. Don't want no juniors in my family. Out on the waters of old Rainy. Lived on an island since I was a child. Never knew the city. Grew up in the wild. Caught my first smallmouth on a plug and a string. Out on the waters of old Rainy. When I started school, I had to board in town. When the school week ended, I was island bound. At the end of the bus line, my dad took me out on the waters of old Rainy. My dad put up buoys since 41. job that he passed on to his oldest son. With my daddy lamplighter, now that lamplighter's me, out on the waters of old Rainy. Channel from bay to bay. Never lose respect for the red and the green. Out on the waters of old Rainy. Out on the waters of old Rainy. Out on the waters of old Rainy.
Big round of applause for Karen Swinson, 6th grade class. Can Miss Karen Swinson step out? Come out front here. Here's their teacher. Teachers that make the world go round, I tell you.
My name is Oscar Bergstrom. I was born May 31st, 1918. My dad put logs on riverbanks and measured them. In the spring, he rolled them down to Rainy River, had big logs chained together and floated them to the mill.
I wanted to be a farmer, but I couldn't make a living farming. So I started working in the woods, doing good.
When I started, I used a bow saw or a Swede saw, axe and canned hook.
But it's for rolling logs. You just put it on the log and you can, if the log is, these, you, with this pickaroon, you drag it. Because you see, when you cut the sticks, you have to pile them up. You have to put them in a pile.
One man could cut a cord a day. They'd cut the wood and had to figure out where it's at. The country was all surveyed in the 1800s.
As we went along, the power saw came in. Then the hydraulic cutters came in. Next, the feather buncher. Now we have a machine all computerized and cuts the trees, fells, limbs, cuts by size. Everything's computerized.
In 1948, when I started, I had 4 or 5 men, and later 10 to 25 men. I furnished each a cabin. I would bring in groceries and bring in food. The cabins were built on skids.
I sold wood to the company by the cord. We cut everything, cut it all. Aspen grows from the roots. When we harvest an acre of aspen, get 20 cords off of it.
When you cut that and these young trees come up by the thousands, they produce oxygen. An acre of fast-growing aspen will produce 4 tons of oxygen.
It's just like any resource. You must use it or lose it. You have to use it in a wise and good way. You know it's terribly hard to hire cooks, so I hired my mother at union wages. My mother and I got along. She kept wondering if she was doing good enough.
I got to tell you that she kept wondering if she was doing good enough. And she would ask me every now and then, do you think I'm doing good enough? And so one day I was sitting there having coffee and cinnamon rolls, which she was good at making. And I said to her, she asked me again, and I said, well, Ma, you don't have to worry about that. I said, I'm the boss. I'm the guy that pays you, and I'm the guy that owns this thing. She said, oh, you don't amount to nothing. So mothers have a way of doing that, you know, keeping you humble anyway.
I've been a logger with my wife. Stand-up stumpage has been my life. Since the day I was born, a field of timber is a field of corn. I'm a logger, a logging man. I'm a logger, a logging man. I'm a logger, a logging man. Out on the river doing the best I can.
applause for Mike Petersen's 4th grade, Falls Elementary. Mike Petersen, come on out. Round of applause for Mike Petersen. On the front directing is Mr. Haas. Round of applause for the director. Down at the front there is Mr. John Faith doing all the sound. Please stand up, Mr. John Faith, and round of applause. One more round of applause for these incredible students up here. One more time. I'm a logger, logging man, I'm a logger. A logging man, I'm a logger. A logging man, out on the river, do the best I can.
Now there you've got my life blurted out. Huh? Be good to your parents. And don't sass back. Show your parents that you love them. Offer to do things for them. And even today, when I think of all the changes, you know, the colleges and the mall and all the homes built out there along the river, people talked about being out in the country when they talked about, you know, way back when. If they'd go out by the river that way, they'd be out in the country. Now they have all the homes. But I still liked it. I still was happy here.
I would like to pass that on to all of you, is never fear Rainy Lake. It's a great place, it's a beautiful place, and it's a wonderful place. But if you lose respect, the lake will win. So respect it and not fear it.
It isn't that I felt, when I was growing up on the farm, it isn't that I felt deprived, because I didn't. I had everything I needed. And you don't know. It's just like now, if you ask yourself, what's it going to be, say, 50 years from now? You know, you don't miss something that you haven't got. You haven't got it, you know. So I was real happy with it, and I think the world today is just super.
So many love me, to have so many want me. How could I be lonely tonight? With all my friends, Louise, my name is Louise, Louise. Louise, please call me Louise. On a plug and a string, on